All right. A little bit of a different video. Use my phone as a mic here. We're here to talk about World Cups. The Sarrians is this coming weekend. And basically I want to talk about the riders that I think are looking hot. Maybe, give a little bit more hype to the weekend so when you're watching, there's a little bit more to think about. And honestly, this is all inspired from the mountain bike World Cups. They started off just a few weeks ago, and my YouTube feed is just videos on videos. People just talking about the racing, the backstories, who's there. Yeah, there's endless. It's hours you could watch on that, and then you go and try and find something for BMX, and it's not the same. I don't think anyone's making videos just talking about it. So a little bit different. We'll talk about the track, talk about men elite, women elite, rattle some names off, and then I'll make a prediction at the end who I think's winning both days, or one day, next day. So yeah, let's get to it. So track-wise, it's not a place I've been to before, so I don't have wheels on the ground type information. But just sort of going off of what I see from videos, the racing that's been there before. It's short first straight. Inside lanes are key, and your fast starters are going to probably lead a lot of laps. Still doesn't mean that there's not passing. I think there is passing. I think third and last straight open up quite a bit. They're a bit longer, just from what I can see. But mainly I think starts and, prioritising the inside lanes is going to be important for who wants to win. One change that I think from the 2023 track, when they had the World Cup there, is second straight. They've swapped the men's and women's side sort of back to a more traditional way where the pro straight leads out the exit sort of thing. It's right on the exit of first corner. Whereas 2023, I think, the guys were cutting down, which was a little different. It made it weird for sure. I'm sure the ladies liked it a little bit more, being on their straight, being on the exit of the corner. So they don't have to do the cut down, but they've switched back over. It's honestly, it looks like a nice track. But I think the big key for the weekend is going to be get your starts going, run quick lap times, and try to get those inside lanes. But other than that, track looks great. And it's going to be a French crowd, so it's going to be wild. I'm excited to watch. Would have been great to race, but I'm at least excited to watch. I think let's talk the men's side first. I think there's a lot to be said here, and there's a lot of guys that I'm honestly probably not going to mention that I think likely are going to show up in the final. Let's talk about Joris first, obviously, right? So he's 34 now. He's just won his gold medal last year. He's currently the world champion too. And arguably, I wouldn't say home track for him. It's in France though, and he won in 2023. So I think he's going to be good there again. I think it was interesting the start of the year at Rock Hill. I think that was his first race back, since Grands. So I think he did the Olympics, Grands, and Rock Hill. And Rock Hill was, I would say, not his best work. I think he got 8th on the first day, and then out in the semi the next, which I think for a lot of other people, you'd maybe sort of sound the alarm coming into the World Cup season. But He also did go to Nashville. He's great at Nashville. It's a flat hill, but he got the win there on day one. And a guy like Joris, I think for him, winning's winning. It doesn't matter whether it's flat or big hill. He's proven time and time again he can do both. And so for him to win Nashville, I think that then sort of just give him a bit of a rise. He'd be feeling, maybe a little bit better since after Rock Hill. He's right now the fastest guy in the world. There's no doubting it. French crowd, he's back again. And how he performs, obviously winning there last time, he has to feel good on that track. Even the minor changes aren't going to change like mentally how he feels about the track. Just the environment with the crowd is, I think he's going to definitely put one on. Go straight down the list. Let's go Sylvain. What's his most recent race? I think it was Nashville as well, and he got second on day one behind Joris. So, he's always good for a podium. It's crazy. And yet again, being that French crowd, he's going to put on for sure. He's dealt with that arm injury since Argentina, 2023. That was a horrible crash. And it's crazy to sort of, he's shared a little bit on it, with he got surgery. The surgery sort of didn't work the first time, and then I'm not sure how many he's had since. But obviously at the Olympics he was running that weightlifting strap to hold on. I don't think I've seen that. I don't think I saw that in Nashville. Flying over the bars, he put his arms out. So, but again, Sylvain, he is pretty well always good for a podium if he's in the main. And the way he did it in 2023, I think he was 7th out of first corner, which is on that track pretty wild. So he's got to be feeling good there, whether he gets a start or not. I think he's charging towards the front. Next guy I want to speak about, we'll keep it all French, is Romain Mayhew. This is his home track. Spends a lot of his time here. And I think for a guy, these guys that are sort of older in the class, I think show their experience when it comes to sort of preparing for a season and coming in strong and actually picking the races they want to do good at. Because I think, yet again, like Rock Hill for Romain, you would say was not his best work. And I don't think he planned on coming to USA BMX and blowing everyone's doors off. I think always the goal was to come to the World Cups, especially being the home track one. And he'd be he would have at least tapered out a little bit to sort of bring some speed this weekend. He doesn't try and blow everyone's doors off on the first pedal, but as he gets to his third and fourth and then past the kink, it's like, one of the best starters, and it's consistent too, so he's always going to be there with his start. And then I think, last time they raced here with the World Cup, I think he just got a little bump out of the gate, shut down, and then it's just tough to make passes around the track unless you're Sylvain, I think. So, but I think, we'll see what he's got. I think he'll be great. Like, he can win a day, no doubt. Like Kennedy. Obviously, he won the World Cup series last year, and was really consistent. I think after Rotorua, he's being his first race back from his big injury thing. From then on, like Brisbane through to the end of the season, was really consistent. So he's been doing USA BMX, so he's probably, I would say, more up to sort of race pace, or just he's just raced a bit more than some of these other guys, I think. Track like this, might be tough with the short first straight, whereas he's a guy in Papendal that I would look to definitely run at a win. But this weekend, with the shorter first straight, I think that sort of plays against him, but then his sort of just bull at the gates mentality Like, yeah, he's on a tight track like this, he'll make it happen. If he needs to really force a move, he will. Just from what I notice is, if he's even to the kink with anyone, he's probably getting down the bottom of the hill actually in front, because it just seems like as soon as the kink drops, like as he's coming towards the kink, he just gets to max cadence and just fucking flies down the hill. And then through the first corner is just mega. I guess following on from here, you mentioned Isaac, you got to mention Cam Wood, just the rivalry on the US circuit. I don't think we've seen it roll into the World Cups as much. Obviously there's more guys, so you sort of thicken out the field and it separates them much more, because, you know, they're likely not going to be in the same eights final, same quarter, you know, maybe the semi and then the final if they're both in there. But even then, you get to the final and then you're going to have the other guys in there too to sort of maybe separate them. Cam Wood, yeah, he's another guy who I think is, no matter what he's done through the day, if he's in the final and it's not too like, oh, he's in lane 7, you know, on a track like this, that might be too much, especially when let's say Joris is 1, Romaine's in 3. But I think he's a guy who, I just think no matter what happens, if he's in the main, he's got that mentality of like, this is the only race that matters. And he doesn't let the ones before it really, doesn't sort of dig too deep into those. So I think if he's in the final, yeah, look for him to be somewhere near the front, and his starts are fairly dialed. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether this track suits him. I don't think he's raced before at Sarrians. Obviously it's tough to fit all the guys in one video because there's another, that's 5 guys and there's another 10 or more that you could mention to make the main. I think we'll move into the ladies. Yeah, we'll move into the girls. Women elite. Women's at this stage is a little bit easier to predict compared to the men's. And I think it's more so just the fact that, honestly, Beth and Saya, I think, have just, since 2023, I think both of them just put themselves sort of on that level above the rest. I'd say you might argue Classens is there too. Yeah, coming to this weekend, I think a lot just more of what we've seen in terms of winners. Beth, Saya, Zoe. But yeah, talking more about Saya, I watched a video the other day. It was at Sarrians, just showing the track off a bit. Her comments on it. But she's going to be comfortable there, no doubt. Spends half the year there with Romaine. Raced in Rock Hill, won both days. And I think now that brings us to this weekend. She's on a bit of a run at the moment. And coming back to the World Cups, I think it'll be more of the same as last year with her. I think, yeah, she wins the day. 100% has to. Yeah, Beth. The races that she has done this year has looked great. She won them all. I don't think she's won every race she's entered, but looked good nonetheless. Always looks comfortable on the bike. Always is a threat down the hill to first corner. And if she starts out front, she stays out front pretty well. With that being said, though, if she's starting 4th, at least from previous history, she's going to stay there or go backwards. But I think, just that sort of little rivalry, Saya and Beth, is going to continue on. I think we'll see that for years. And then, of course, Zoe Classens is there too. She won both days last year in Brisbane, which is mega. and then got bronze at the Olympics, so she's going to be there too. Honestly, both days could just be them on, or three on the podium, just in different order maybe. Yeah, Laura Smulders, again. Yeah, she's the veteran of the class, the most World Cup wins there is in BMX racing. She's going to be in both the finals. I just think there's nothing else that's telling me she won't be. It's just to run for that podium with the other three I just mentioned. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I think the women's class has a lot of young like group of riders coming through, and it's just, we have to wait and see how that pans out. The men's elite class is sort of dominated right now by the old guys. I mean, Jesus, they're not old, but they're, getting on into their 30s now. Whereas, yeah, the girls' class, it seems to be, obviously, Sarah and Beth, I think mid-20s, and then, yeah, there's a young patch, a young group coming through now that are going to mix it up, make it interesting. So I think there's going to be a lot of new names for the women's elite class. All right, into our predictions. We'll follow on with the women's. I think one of the days Saya wins, and I think the next day, or one of the days, Beth wins. I think they'll just split the wins at Sarrians. It wouldn't surprise me to see, I think, Beth and Saya stand on the podium both days, just in different positions. So, and then Zoe there too. It's hard to put anyone else. If we're making a safe bet, yeah, it's hard to put anyone else in the three, just from what I've seen. Day one, Saya, Zoe, Beth. Day two, Beth, Saya, Zoe, I think. Now, men elite. Whew. I think day one, Romain to win. Yeah, day one, let's put Romain on top. Man, for a second, it honestly would not surprise me if Cam Wood slides in second on day one. I think he's got a bit of momentum rolling, obviously. And then third, let's throw Sylvain at it. Obviously, yeah, wow, I've left Joris off the podium. But I think then, yeah, let's talk day two. Joris wins. Sylvain again. Podium machine. And then third, yeah, I could see Isaac doing it. I could see him doing it for sure. You can see any of these guys winning at the end of the day. And then, I mean, you want to talk about even more the depth, like Marquardt, Booty, Rencarel, Pillard, Steiner, Larson, Bodie, my man Bodie. Who else are we talking? Jamie O'Brink. Colombians, Carmona, Arboleda, like Ross Cullen. Oh my God, it's deep, man. So I think it'll be good racing, but yeah, I think that's it for this video. I do not know how long this is going to be. I've spoken for, I feel like, at least half an hour. So anyways, that's it. I don't know if I'll do this again. We'll see. If you like it, I will. This is going to take a while to edit. All right. Thank you.